So welcome to this practice. So one of the primary yoga sutras that informs Hatha Yoga is Sutra 246. And this is the sutra which tells us that Shtiram Sukham Asanam, which essentially means that our practice of asana should include both steadiness and ease. And so what Patanjali is saying in this sutra is that in order to master asana, or to become masterful of our asana practice, we need to incorporate elements of steadiness and ease, not just in the way we sit in meditation, but the way that we practice and sit in asana, because the word asana means to sit. And so the idea of steadiness and ease might seem in a way contrasting if we're from a Western mindset of thinking that we can't be steady without exerting force and effort. And what it's doing is really asking us to find the place within our bodies, within our minds, within our attention, where we can be attentive without too much mental tension. And what happens is that we find this really sweet spot between effort and ease, where we can actually just drop into a space of pure being. And this doesn't happen in a practice where we're forcing or pushing or exerting a lot of mental and physical effort. It only happens in a practice where we feel strong and stable and steady enough in our body so that we can actually start to soften and release into the position, so that then the breath can flow fully into it. So it's a sequential sequence, essentially. And what it also speaks to is the idea of Hatha Yoga in and of itself. So the Ha and the Ta of yoga representing the solar and the lunar forces, so the sun and the moon, which we know also represent the masculine and the feminine essences, right? So what it's actually asking us to do, Hatha Yoga in general, is that it's asking us to balance the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves by exerting just enough effort, creating just enough structure, aka an asana, and bringing in just enough ease and softness and surrender, aka the breath and the feminine, in order to create this union or this balance within ourselves. And so when we're practicing asana as it was intended to according to the Yoga Sutras, this is what we're looking to have be present as we move through a practice. It's not so much forceful effort that we're frowning and digging and sweating and pushing ourselves, but it's actually to meet our edge, to find that point of tapas where we're challenged just enough to find structure, and then challenge ourselves even more potentially to soften and surrender and just be. So you might relate more to the explanation of the masculine and the feminine dynamics. You might relate more to the sun and the moon dynamics. Whatever explanation helps you to grasp this idea of Shtiram Sukham Asanam, just enough steadiness coupled with just enough ease in a practice is what is eventually going to lead us to that place of samadhi or enlightenment or meditation and absorption. So it's not too complicated, I think, in terms of understanding it, but it's how we put it into a practice that is going to really make all the difference, right? So what we'll do is just a very simple asana practice, nothing too strenuous or complicated, and I'd ask you just to notice if those tendencies start to come up where you start to feel yourself pushing, or your mind maybe wandering away, or anything in between that can happen. And just I'll keep drawing us back to this idea of Shtiram Sukham Asanam. So whenever you're ready, just leave all of your props off to the side and we'll come down and begin in child's pose. The knees can go wide, toes touch together, forehead to the floor, arms outstretched. And even in this position, which is traditionally understood as a more relaxing position, can you notice how you're exerting a little bit of effort just to keep yourself in the pose? So the arms are still outstretched. You can soften your shoulders away from your ears.
And if there's any tension in the upper back or the shoulders, maybe the lower back around the hips, just noticing that too, and start to take a couple of deeper breaths. See, can you fill the space between your thighs with the belly as it breathes out? And as you exhale, noticing that softening into presence. Again, releasing any need for it to look a certain way or feel a certain way. Just meeting yourself where you're at this evening, today, whatever time you're practicing at, and just letting all of these thoughts, emotions, sensations that happen in response to our external stimuli just begin to settle. And settling into an experience of ease. Now on your next breath in, just slowly begin to rise up to hands and knees. So all fours, shoulders come over the wrists, hips in line with the knees. Spread the fingers wide, take a deep breath, open through the chest, press down through the tops of the feet and lift your heart forwards as you draw the shoulder blades together and back. As you exhale, press through the palms, tuck the tailbone under, round through the upper back, squeeze the navel back and tuck your chin. Okay, so inhaling, spine lengthens, opens, chest forwards and down. And then exhaling to round, just continue to exert a little bit of effort here as you press down through the palms. And notice how in order to allow this cat-cow motion to continue with your breath, but there needs to be an element of flow and surrender as you allow the breath to move in and out. Just a few more times, breathing, moving breath through the spine. And now from all fours, coming back to a neutral position, we'll shift back into downward dog. So just between all fours and downward dog, taking a breath in, expand the lungs, lengthen the spine. Tuck toes under, press palms down and lift the hips, lift the knees into downward dog. Just feeling into the position to begin with, and then on your next inhale, lower to knees again. Nice straight spine, gentle lifting of the chest forwards, keep the toes tucked. And exhale, once again, shift up and back, downward facing dog, slow it down. See, can you breathe in and out for a count of 4? Inhale to your knees for 4 counts. And exhale back into down dog on a 4 count. And just very slowly exploring this simple movement. Noticing any need or tendency to want to speed up or force. So can you stick with that 4-4 rhythm? In 4, down to knees, out 4, back into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Moving the breath steadily through the spine. And the next time that you come back into downward dog, stay here. Find the position where you can hold relatively steady. Knees bent slightly, feet hip width apart, palms firmly pressed down. And as you hold the position, can you soften your shoulders? Pull your attention back into presence without tension. So attention without too much tension in the mind. Finding that sweet spot between effort and ease as you hold. Just feeling into any parts of you that are against this concept of meeting a little bit of softness with a little bit of structure. So as you create the structure in your body, it is what allows the breath to flow freely through it, and as such, the flow of prana or energy through the body as well. Just holding one more time, in and out with the breath. And as you exhale again, look between the hands, bend the knees. And as lightly as you can, step the right foot forwards between the hands. Let the left heel come down at a 45-degree angle, and you'll rise up to a warrior one position with the body. So setting yourself up, tuck the right hip back, relax the shoulders, sink deeper into that front knee, just checking that it's in line with your ankle. Once you've found the position, pause here for a moment, relax. Take a breath in, open the chest forwards. And as you exhale, straighten the right leg and lower the arms down beside you. Just 2 more like that. Inhale, bend the right knee, come into the position, Virabhadrasana 1. Gaze steady ahead. 4 count, exhale to lower arms, straighten right leg. Just 1 more time. Even as the movement is happening, can you remain present with your breath? And this time as you inhale, bend the right knee, extend the arms up, and stay here as you exhale. Deepen the bend in the front knee, relax the shoulders. And see, can you once again find that sweet spot between the structure of your body holding you steady, and the contents of the mind, the heart and the lungs continuing to move and flow freely. This balance of steadiness and ease. So there's no forcefulness. If you feel any sense of tension or overexertion, just ease out. But exploring your capacity just to hold steady in that sense of tapas, or a little bit of challenge. Balancing this masculine structure with the feminine softness. Take 1 more breath here. And as you exhale, release the hands, frame the right foot, lift the left heel and just step straight back into downward dog. Take a pause. Bend the knees generously so that you feel a little bit more pressure through your palms. Let your hips send high to the sky. Deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. Next breath in, left foot comes forwards, right toes turn out to the side. And set up for warrior one on the other side. So left foot bent this time. So checking in with the alignment, knee in line with ankle. Reach both arms up overhead. Soften through the shoulders. Take a full inhale to stretch the arms long. And as you exhale, push through that left foot, straighten the left leg and lower the arms down to the floor as the navel draws back. Inhale, bend the left knee, reach the arms up and over. Dynamic exhale, lower arms, straighten leg. And 1 more time. Your inhale bends your knee, expands the arms up. And the exhale lowers them. And this time as you breathe in, find your pose, knee bent, arms extended. Stay here for the exhale, soften. Create that solid structure of the body holding steady. And now introduce a deeper breath. Can you remain solid in this outer form, even as your inner world shifts and changes? The thoughts, sensations, emotions might arise. Just continue to hold. But again, without tension. Feeling both relaxed and comfortable and focused and attentive. Hold steady, 2 more breaths. Next, exhale, lower the arms, frame the left foot, Lift the right heel, and this time step the right foot forwards to meet the left. Come to fold at the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Arms can just rest where they're comfortable. Noticing how in this position you're exerting energy by pressing down through the feet, lifting up through the hips, and at the same time completely surrendering the upper body from the hips to the crown of the head. Once again, this simultaneous effort with ease, coupled all the time. Head relaxes, feet press down, breath continues to flow. On the next breath, come halfway up, open through the chest, hands to knees or shins, shoulders back. And exhale, fold back down. Press through the feet. Inhale, this time rise all the way to standing. Extend arms overhead, nice long stretch with the arms. And then exhale, hands down through the heart center in Samastitihi. Pausing here. Take a moment to acknowledge this structure, the steadiness of your physical form. And release the hands down by your side to claim that even more. And continuing with this process of embodying steadiness and ease, take an inhale and reach both arms up and overhead. As you reach up, press through your feet. And as you exhale again, use the arms and fold forwards all the way down to Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, open the chest, shoulders back. Now exhaling, fold back down, press the palms to the floor and step the feet back into plank pose. So again, just enough effort that you're feeling a little bit of challenge, a little bit of tapas. Take a breath to lengthen through the spine, press through the heels. And exhale, lower, chest, knees and chin to floor. Hands stay below the shoulders, elbows tucked. Take an inhale, lift through the chest. Open forwards. Exhale, lower, forehead down. One more breath like this. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling, toes tuck. Press up and back. Reclaim downward dog in your steady capacity. Soft bend in the knees, holding now for 5 breaths. Just notice anything and everything that pulls at your senses. Whether that be a sound outside of yourself or outside of your room. Could be a distraction, a thought. Keep the breath moving. Keep that steady rhythmic flow. And the next exhale, step the right foot forwards again. Same as before, left toes turn out. This time rise to standing and keep the right leg straight. So it's a similar stance with the legs, but pull your right hip back this time. And if you need to have blocks ready in front, you might take them up towards your right foot. Otherwise, just stay as you are. So from this position, right hand to the low back, left arm stretched to the sky. Take a breath to extend through the left side body. And as you exhale, hinge the body forwards, keep the left arm extended and continue to fold down just as far as you go comfortably. Press through the feet, inhale, rise back up. Just taking 2 more rounds like this. 6 counts on the exhale this time, slow it down. Noticing that there's no rush to get you in any position or state. Last time, extend the exhale again, folding forwards. And this time, once you come into the fold, release both hands. So you may come to fingertips, just framing that right foot. If it feels better to have blocks, have blocks. Wherever you're at, take a breath in, lift up through the chest, pull the right hip back, and on an exhale, soften the bend in the elbows, fold the upper body down, and pause. So soft bend in the right knee if you need. Breath continues to flow in the belly. Once again, finding that capacity to be both steady and soft. So the effort required to keep you upright, coupled with a release of effort completely. And notice that when you do this, the breath starts to deepen. Couple more breaths. Inhale, rise to a half lift, open through the chest. This time on exhale, lift the right arm to the sky, come into a twist, pull the right hip back, and just hold for a couple of breaths, not too long in this position. Just noticing anywhere in the body that feels a little bit tight or uncomfortable. And send the next 2 breaths there. Your attention on these places without too much tension. And then slowly look to the floor. Inhale, rotate the right arm back to the floor. Inhale to a halfway lift again, open through the chest. As you exhale, step the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Steady, open, soft. After your next exhale, step the left foot forwards, turn the right toes out, and rise back up. So straightening the left leg this time. Right arm will reach up to the sky, left palm facing out on the low back. Breathe in to lift, stretch up, and exhale to fold forwards. Smooth, long exhalations. Pressing down through the feet, inhale, rise back up. 2 more like that. See how long you can extend the exhale out. Go to 6 first of all. See how that feels. 4 on the in-breath, and if you feel like extending further than 6 on your next round, go for it. After this exhale, both hands release, either floor or blocks. Take a breath in, lift the chest open, and then exhale, fold. So upper body folded over that extended left leg. Knee can be bent if you need. Chin relaxed, back of the neck long. And holding this upright position, even as the upper body softens. You feel any tremors or shaking in the body as a sign that prana or energy is moving in the direction of balance. Reminding yourself of that Shtiram Sukham Asanam, steadiness and ease, as you commit to a shape. Taking 2 more breaths. Halfway lift to open the chest. Exhale, left arm to twist, open to the side. Pull the left hip back. Extend the left arm. If it's comfortable, you can look to that top arm. Otherwise, just look to the side or down. Breathe in the belly. Hold the body still. And find ease. On an exhale, look to the floor. Inhale, rotate top arm back down. Take an in-breath to lift halfway up. This time, exhale, lift the right heel and just step the right foot forwards to meet the left into your forward fold once again. Upper body hangs heavy. Knees can be bent, shoulders soft. Just meeting yourself in this forward fold. Recalling that sense of presence that you had at the beginning. And as you press through the feet again, slow as you can, inhale, slowly rise to standing. Reach the arms up, take them overhead, softly, gently lower the palms down to the heart, and pause. Reclaiming that sense of openness through the body as you hold Tadasana, tuck the tailbone down. And as you hold the pose, can you relax all of your joints? So from the ankle joints to the knees, the hips, elbows, shoulders, and notice that as this softens, that the flow of breath and prana through the body can begin to move a little bit more fluidly. As you stand, noticing where you're holding. And we'll just take one more movement to get us back down. Inhale, sweeping arms up. Exhale, folding. Halfway lift to breathe in and open the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, step to plank. Find solidity at the top, take a breath in. And use the exhale to surrender down. Press the feet into the floor, inhale, lift the chest off the mat, shin stays in. And then exhale, lower the chest back down, tuck the toes under, press through the palms, and lift your way all the way back into child's pose once again. So take your hips towards your heels, knees together, arms outstretched, forehead to the floor. And again, recall that sense of presence, stability, knowing that the body can hold both the masculine structure, support, solidity, with the softness and openness of the feminine. As we are both, and this unifying of the solar and lunar forces in the body is really just a way to reclaim that equanimity within ourselves, this union between polarity. And from here, just slowly come up to a seat. We'll take a very simple cross-leg twist here. So take your left shin in front of the right, left hand behind the back. Inhale, stretch the right arm tall, nice long breath in. And as you exhale, right arm crosses over towards that left knee or outer thigh, and take an inhale to sit a little bit taller into your seat. Open the chest, and then exhale, look back. Rotate from the navel, hold the pose, soften the gaze. And again, notice that by creating the structure of the pose, the asana, the seat, that the inner forces can begin to expand. The breath starts to deepen, meeting it with openness, releasing any efforting that might be excessive. And slowly inhale and rotate yourself back around to the front. We'll just switch sides. So the right shin comes in front. Left or right arm behind you. Inhale the left arm high. Stretch it nice and tall, find length. And then exhale, let the left arm cross over the body to the right knee. And we'll gently rotate to the right. So again, if it's comfortable on your neck, you can look to the right. Otherwise, just gaze straight ahead or out to the side.
We'll keep your breath in your abdomen here. Inhaling, crown of the head sits tall. And exhale, rotating around the central axis point of the spine. And then slowly, on an in-breath, rotate back to the center. And final shape, we'll just extend both our legs even out in front of us. If you need to sit up on something small, you can maybe put a blanket under your hips. But either way, we're going to bend the knees if you need to. Flex the feet back, take a breath in, reach the arms overhead. Keep the chest open here, so the key with forward folds is to keep the front of the body open. Take a breath to lift up. And keeping the arms outstretched, exhale, just begin to hinge forwards, just to your capacity. And then inhale, come all the way back up, straight spine, straight arms, open chest. Exhale, fold again, just to the point where you stop naturally. Inhale, come back up. One last time, exhale, hinge and fold forwards. Arms may reach the feet, they might grab hold of a strap, your ankles or your shins, whatever feels the best. And then inhale, lift the chest open, draw the shoulders back. And exhale, fold into your Paschimottanasana. So option here always to use props if you want to take a bolster lengthways along your legs or a pillow. But if not, just let the upper body soften. Let your shoulders and neck release. And keep the breath in your belly. Again, steadiness coupled with ease and softness. That we're not forcing or pushing our body into something that it doesn't want to do. But we're still meeting that edge of resistance with just enough humility to be able to pause there. Final 2 breaths. And re-extend the arms, lead with the thumbs, inhale, rise all the way back up. And exhale, lower the arms down. And just come to lie flat on your back. And turn it all the way around, draw the knees into your chest for a final little squeeze. And whenever you're ready to just release the legs, you can extend them one after the other all the way down. Open the arms wide, draw the shoulders back and down. And pause here in Shavasana. Just allowing that surrender now to take precedent over effort. Softening the gaze or closing down the eyes if that feels okay. And even in this position, notice the work that the body does to pull the breath in on the inhale. And the natural softening and release as the exhale moves out. Softly in, softly out. Very little conscious effort. Allowing the mind to relax and soften away from effort. And just for this final moment or so here, resting in a space of ease that you've created out of effort. back. Gently roll to one side and come all the way up to a seat. Sitting up on a prop of some kind. Legs can be crossed or kneeling. And just find a position where you can hold the body steady, but at the same time be completely open and